right. My tweet notifications on for Branded Sports. All right, we're live. It is April 14th. Not like that matters at all. Dates, numbers, days doesn't matter.
It's April
a day of the
95th.
week. The sun is kind of out today, which is just wonderful. Makes me feel nice and depressed sitting here locked in my house. And we are back, Lunchables. We've got CEO Joe and our special guest today, Drew Smith, founder of Design Tree, Liberty Line. How are you holding up over there?
Well, I was telling Joe before we started this stream, I put on jeans today and took a shower to go to Wawa.
That's big.
So that was kind of the highlight of my day, minus this. But I don't know. I haven't really
got a dog, so you're picking it up this weekend.
Yeah, I bought a dog. Been buying a lot of dog toys and stuff. I don't know if that's out of just sheer boredom or if I'm actually ready for a dog, but I don't know. I'm just trying to stay busy over here.
What's the dog's name?
We don't have a name for it yet. It's a boy.
Man.
Okay. My vote's for Ringo, but my girlfriend, big Disney girl, wants to name it Mickey. So we'll see.
I'm a big fan of like weird people names for animals.
I am too.
Like
I wanted to name it Jerry.
Yeah. That's a good one.
She has an uncle named Jerry, so apparently that's like not okay to do.
My buddy named his dog, actually Australian cattle dog as well, just named his Glenn. And I just remember the first time he's like, "Hey, this is Glenn," and I was like, "What's up, Glenn?"
Like I like Walter. I think Walter would be a good dog name.
Oh, I like that.
You kind of always have to imagine, like, if you're sitting at the vet when they call out the animal's name. That's how I can always tell if I'm there and there's like a Labradoodle and they're like, its name is Fluffy. I'm like, okay, that guy's whipped.
Right. It's obviously
some girl made him.
Right.
Okay, so let's kick things off. If you haven't been following, and I've been blogging it, Dave Portnoy from Barstool has been doing, last night was the 9th consecutive night of unboxing random packages in his apartment. We've been going, I think, pretty consistently 4+ hours.
Unbelievable.
Just wild.
Except for like one night. And it's getting out of control. I've got a blog coming out in a little bit. I think we got to stop. I don't know how that's possible, but if you've been following along, you've been seeing Design Tree. You guys have sent a ton of stuff that he's opened. He's worn it.
Quality stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah. Super funny. I'm so curious of like how you guys thought of what to make and just jumped on it so quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy though, if you really stop and think about it. Like a month ago, we were gearing up to, get our Sixers shirts out, Flyer shirts, playoffs, MLB was starting. Everything was about to really hit our busy time of the year. And then all of a sudden this virus hits and now we're making cloth masks. Everyone's pretty much working like off the clock. And we're making shirts for El Prez to unbox, which I watch for 4 hours every single night on Instagram Live. Like that is just like crazy. But
well, let me ask you a question with that, because I know like you clipped every time that he unboxed one of like Design Tree stuff. So are you sitting there waiting, and then the second he gets a package that you're like, all right, this could be us, you just start recording?
Yeah, so it made it easier once you started doing it on YouTube, because then you can just clip it directly from YouTube. When it was on IG Live, it was a little tough because you're trying to do it. But once you started doing it on YouTube, I could play it on my phone, and then YouTube's always a little bit delayed. So then you would see it on YouTube and it'd be able to like record it. But yeah, there's like a group of us, just like the Design Tree guys, that are watching it. And we've just been trying to at least get them one shirt a day. At first we were like, let's just send them a huge box of shirts. But then you have the big Rush Ortiz box, a bunch of different shirts. But like we went with this strategy instead, just to send him one shirt every single day. We're 3 for 3. We missed yesterday, but more are coming, I believe, today. Where hopefully Prez will like realize like, oh, these people keep sending us the same shirts. But I mean, who knows? He goes through like over 200 boxes a day. So is there any like thought in his mind? Now he's like getting stoned on weed brownies. Like, I don't know if he even knows they're from us, but it's just something to do, you know?
He did go on a rant. I think I watched the rundown yesterday. He was going on a rant about their t-shirt guy for like 45 minutes. And
Yeah.
I think it's part of the shtick of like how much he hates him, but
Right.
it could be in the market for a whole new system.
I mean, the last t-shirt we sent him, he was like, it's Welker should be like Mike Welker from Touchstone, whatever out in Ohio. Was like he was like you know, he should, you know, be worried about the fact that our fans keep sending him better shirts than they create. So maybe something will come with it. But again, I mean, just something to do while we all pass time, you know?
I mean, he loved that first one. That first one with Stu Feiner. That was
a good one.
Like a genuine like laugh from him, how much he thought that was funny.
That's right. We have a weapon guy t-shirt going into him too. It says weapon guy with like a huge box with Russell Ortiz logo, Barstool logo, and then like, you know, samurai swords, axes, cutting box cutters, like all that stuff just like packed in a box on the front of his shirt.
Love that. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, how many more days do you think he can do this? Last night at the end, and that's why my blog is, he was like, please stop. Like, he was very injured. Like you said, he's just been like eating weed brownies. He's getting live animals. I give it like max another week that he can keep this up.
I mean, how does it stop? Because then, I mean, you're all Barstool fans, obviously. Like, how does it even stop? Because like now everyone's just going to continuously send him shit just to be assholes about it too. You know what I mean? Like he's going to have to move.
Yeah, there's no other way besides him moving, or he's going to have to like fake move.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know. I guess you can stop packages, but then like you don't get any mail.
Yeah, your real mail.
Like, I don't know how it ends.
He said he was going to do like a giveaway where he was going to like have people come in, basically get like 10 minutes and just like take whatever they want. But I think you're right. I think it's going to get to the point where he's just going to stop opening them, just hoping that'll deter people. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to. I think people are just going to continuously keep sending things.
He has enough alcohol and CBD and protein to, last him 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. The party that he's got to have when this is all over, just with like cans of rosé and some Cabernet, like it's going to be insane.
Or he goes like Derek Jeter style. He makes gift bags for the ladies just with the stuff. It's like, you know, here's a couple shirts. Right. Here's a bottle of wine. Here's a knife.
Dildo.
Yeah.
Here's a throwing knife. Like, whatever you want.
Like, that's just, that would be my move. I would just go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to stop it, but you can tell it's like taking its toll on his overall like outlook on life at this point.
It looks more like a chore at this point.
Yeah. All right. The next thing that's been going on during this quarantine is a lot of celebrities have been coming forward with their complaints. They're very stressed. They're stuck in their multi-million-dollar houses with their 3 pools and like endless food and everything you could ever ask for. But every time they come on Twitter, Instagram to complain, it's met with a barrage of hate. Everybody is pissed off anytime a celebrity has complained about this. So there's been a lot of them, but I'm curious who you guys think was the most tone deaf celebrity so far during this quarantine.
All right, so I'm gonna go a different route. I mean, obviously Ellen was super tough. Sam Smith was super tough. I'm actually gonna go. Oh, and real quick, the guy on the yacht, that might have been tone deaf, but that was too awesome to not like love. When he's just like a picture of his yacht and he's like, "Oh, I'm out here social distancing." It's like that's just a flex that I can only dream to do. But I'm actually gonna go Ricky Gervais. Reason being is he makes this video basically trashing all of them, knowing that he's going to get everybody's support and they're all going to love him and they're going to hate him. So I think maybe not tone deaf, but I'm going to say he's like the most like advantageous using this situation for his own likes and clicks. So I'm going to say Ricky Gervais.
Okay. Fair.
I don't know if I can just like pinpoint one of them. I mean, it all started with those people singing Imagine.
Ugh. That
Gal
actually, I
Gadot.
changed my answer to all of them.
Gal Gadot started that.
Right. So it like kind of goes like in different phases, right? So that was like the first wave. And you know, I liked some of the artists and musicians that are going on and like doing live streams just to play music where you can listen to. Like that's cool or whatever. But once that didn't work, then it turned into like, and now I think we had like a brief interaction on Twitter about this. It's like then it turned into like the whole like relatable approach where it's like just like you said, like you have Ellen in her mansion that has like a pool, and you have these NBA players or any athletes like in their own like basketball gyms and everything, and they're just like, I haven't changed my socks in like 2 days. I'm just like, well, you know, my company's like going under, and we like there's like so much more real life problems, and it's like they're better off just like donating their money to a charity or a cause and just like stop trying to relate to people and be like, hey, we're all in this together. Like we're not.
Or just don't say anything.
Yeah, we're not closely into this together.
No. Just donate some money to a charity and like, you know, just take it on the chin, knowing that you have it better off than everyone. That's fine.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. I think that would be the way to win it, but they can't do that. Like once you've been famous for that long and that rich for that long, it's like very hard, I think, to relate to any of it. There's been a lot of good Instagram lives that I think they've been donating money. Like Diddy did one the other day that was fucking awesome. He had J-Lo and A-Rod on there, which like was kind of awkward for a second. Lizzo's been all up in there. She was like twerking. He had to shut it down, but then made a comment that it was because of the swearing in the music, not because of Lizzo's twerking.
Okay.
Cancel Lizzo.
And Tory Lanez has been doing these like live streams every day. Just he's gotten the biggest, and he has more energy than anybody I've ever seen. So there's been some good ones, despite a lot of the bad ones. But recently I saw, and I don't want to have to do this because I love him. He's like one of those celebrities that I don't think is cancelable. But Justin Timberlake did come out and make a comment that like parenting for 24 hours should be like not human. Like he's very
well, hold on. It's not. So right. He's 100% right.
Very fair, but he does.
It's the most insane thing in the world.
Right, but he is Justin Timberlake. I mean, he's got one 5-year-old son. So I don't know like what this one 5-year-old son is doing all day, but I'm sure he still has his nannies in the other sections of his house helping take care of it. Like
that's
if
so
you're Justin
weird.
Timberlake.
My girlfriend just texted me and said Justin Timberlake 24-hour parenting. I don't know if that was even related to maybe she's watching in the other room, but I never seen it. But there just has to be a difference of like, you know, like you mentioned, like Tory Lanez, everyone just like putting out content and just like letting it come naturally, and just like there's a difference between that and then like just trying to like relate to people in this epidemic. It's just like it seems so forced right now, you know?
Yeah. And another thing is, where's all the music? Like you would think with all this time, people would be dropping albums left and right. Where's all the music? We haven't got one new album from one like superstar yet.
Well, maybe they can't like get their producer over. So I don't know. I guess you could email music. I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm not too sure either, but
text music. Can you text music?
We need Drake to drop this new album. He said, I did watch Diddy's live when he was on. He said it's the most music he's ever been sitting on. So we're about to get some like new TikTok dances, hopefully.
I mean, I would drop music, movies. If I had anything that I thought people wanted, like now's the time to drop it.
Right.
I mean,
they had that one Ben Affleck movie, the basketball one that he was like a drunk and coach. So that was supposed to go in theaters, and then they just ended up putting it on all the streaming stuff that you can actually purchase and watch it, which is like probably the smart thing to do. I don't know why more movies and everything aren't doing that, but
yeah, I did see The Invisible Man was released, and I really want to see that. It's $20. I don't know. I'm feeling cheap.
But if you go to a movie theater, I mean, I don't know who goes to a movie theater, but if you go to a movie theater, you're gonna pay more than that anyway.
Right.
This ESPN waiting and holding off the MJ thing though still is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Well, that, and then they were like, oh yeah, we're bumping it up and it's gonna be released April 18th. I was like,
Yeah.
well, dude, that's still like
Yeah.
at the time was still like a month away.
Yeah.
We need it now.
It's a
was like-
10-part series. I
was like,
know
how many
you
times
have to have parts 1, 2, and possibly 3 just ready to roll. Just
Right.
hit play.
Yeah. So I mean, that'll be good though. So I'm looking forward to that. But
will be good.
That'll definitely give us some time.
All right, and also all the sports are shut down. We have no end in sight. I know the NBA announced what today. They're thinking July. They might be able to put something together.
July in Vegas, no fans. They're talking 10 teams from each conference. And they would do like best of 5 series instead of 7, which I mean, I'll take it. I'll take anything. I think what you should do is I think you should go take the top 6 teams, cut 7 and 8, and then do best of 7 series, give 1 and 2 a first round bye.
So they're just starting with the playoffs. They're going to keep it where it was when they stopped.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the rumbles that what they'll do is they'll do that. And then it'll go from like July until Labor Day, which is, I mean, in theory, awesome because then you'll get Labor Day ends and then 4 to 5 weeks later, the season will start all over again. Yeah. So, I mean, you'll get basically no off season, and the NBA already like their off season already goes like so quick and so much happens that they're going to jam that in 4 weeks. And then it's going to feel like nothing, like they didn't even leave.
Yeah. I mean,
just give me the finger.
I want the NBA to come back too. I mean, again, we'll see how quickly that can happen. But I mean, even on that NBA note, Allie, I know you're a Boston fan, so don't even worry about it. But like, is Ben Simmons even healthy? Like, we haven't gotten any type of injury update. I mean, I've been watching him stream Call of Duty, and he looks to seem pretty healthy. But like, I don't even have any updates on the status of any of these Sixers and their health.
Well,
he's been quarantined away from Kendall. I do know that.
Good.
Thank God. Thank God. But I mean, if I'm the Sixers, I wouldn't say anything. You just don't have to right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the luckiest. The Sixers medical staff, they released the coronavirus because it couldn't have happened better for them or Brett Brown that all this happens when it does. It could have been worse for the Flyers, couldn't have been better for the Sixers.
Yeah, I'm actually a Lakers fan, so this is like kind of okay for me.
Yeah, she's a scumbag. Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you what, between you and K-Mess, this whole branded sports crew you have is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's the worst.
Yeah,
tell him so he has a full understanding of your rundown.
Well, basketball and football are my like top 2. I'm Patriots, Lakers fan, obviously. That's like the dream.
No, not obviously. No, the Patriots make sense.
Yeah. And I root for the Yankees because my dad would murder me if I didn't. So Patriots, Lakers, Yankees.
Oh wow.
I'll take the Bruins for hockey. So
okay.
It's a really lovable.
It's tough, man. It's tough over here. You know what I mean?
Is interesting.
Yeah. It is. But
the idea when she came on was that she was a Boston fan, and then she already said yes to writing for us when she said the Lakers thing. So at that point, it was like, all right, fine, whatever. We'll deal with it.
Thank you for dealing with me so much. But yes, my top sport is the NFL, and seemingly they are not going to push back anything. The draft is still happening in 10 days, and we are going to be reading picks. Roger Goodell is going to be reading them from his basement in New York somewhere. So I'm a little bummed because the NFL draft this year was going to be fucking awesome. They were going to have like, what was it, in Vegas? They were going to boat people up once their name got picked from like the water. It was going to be epic. And now we have to settle for Roger Goodell's basement. So I can just imagine what's going to happen. Like, this is not going to go correctly because they're so inept. So what do you think is like the craziest thing or like the worst thing that's going to happen during this draft?
Well, if you just stop and look at it, right? So at first I was just like, oh, okay, like it won't be that much of a problem. But then the other night they had that horse competition on ESPN, and the production quality in that, this stream is like better production quality than what ESPN put out for that horse competition. So like, how can you really even put faith in them to actually be able to coordinate with all these teams, players at home, and, you know, dummy Roger Goodell trying to stream it from their basement? Like there's going to be a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So before I say this, Alex is our intern in the background. Shout out him for putting on a better production than the NFL. You heard it here first.
That's
But
right.
also, Alex, I want you to timestamp this because we're going to cut this and tweet it out. Now, I'm not saying I want somebody to do this, but I'm just saying I could see somebody doing this. And I don't want blame or legal responsibility for it. But if Roger Goodell got swatted, how tasty of a treat would that be? Because you know that there's people out there that have his address and would be like, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure, there's going to be something going on with like his doorbell ringing 6,000 times during the broadcast. Like his wife, does he have a wife? Does a woman love him? Is going to like storm down yelling like dinner's ready. What is he going to wear a full suit in his basement?
Yes,
like,
that's 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so what I also heard they're going to be doing, shout out also Wes Welker Jr.
What's up, Wes Welker?
Is like when he announces the picks, somebody said they're going to put like 10 random fans of the team on a stream behind him. And I just like, for you guys especially, like I need to know what 10 Philly fans they're going to be putting up on that screen. And they better be fucking booing, because that is, for me, that's like the highlight of the draft, listening to how loud people can boo him. And if we're going to have like Zoom booing, we need people in there with like blow horns. I need a lot of booing behind Roger Goodell.
Yeah, I mean, I've, not to brag or anything, but I was actually deemed by Amazon one of the most diehard Eagles fans. I don't know if you guys saw the video. There's like 3.5 million views on Twitter. I don't really talk about it much, but
yeah,
just in case you guys missed that. I don't know how you would. Again, 3.5 million viewers watched the video, but I would be on that live stream for sure. But again,
would you boo? Would you boo
Roger Goodell? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And I'll probably boo the Eagles because I, unlike a lot of people, I don't really have faith in us drafting anyone that's going to be of help based on recent years.
It's a draft packed with wide receivers, and I would almost guarantee we leave the first round with an offensive lineman.
I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. But I mean, the whole draft thing in general, like I would be fine. I'm not a big NFL draft guy. Like all the other guys on Liberty Line, they do all the mock drafts and everything. It's great. Good for them. But like, I'm fine. I don't even like watching it live. Like I would wish ESPN just like on their screen, put up a PowerPoint. It could be in the same font, everything, and just list all the draft picks and just put that on a screen for like 24 hours where you can just like look at it and go through slide by side. Cause like the whole like production value and everything with the NFL draft, I'm just not really interested in.
Yeah, I think that's why they were making it so crazy with this year's draft, is that like
people on a boat? Like what?
Yeah. And people were starting last year to separate like in their own houses, having their own parties. Like it was getting very lackluster with people actually in the draft room, like waiting to be drafted with their entire tables of random family, cousins, and girlfriends that are never going to last.
Well, it's going to be like the Super Bowl, where every year is going to get like crazier and crazier to where the draft's going to end up being like an entire week long. Because the first round already, I'm with you in the sense that I wish it would be a little bit faster, a little less production, but I still love watching the first round live. But I hate looking at the clock and being like, all right, it's an hour and a half and we have 7 picks on the board. Like, how is this taking so long?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just like, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I mean, going from people's basements again, like Ali, you mentioned, like getting different players and everything and their streams up with no like ESPN production crews at any of these houses. Like, there's just no way. Like, think about all the different links they're gonna have from ESPN to then be like flash up like this live stream from this house and then cut back to Mel Kiper Jr. in his basement to Todd McShay in his basement back to Roger Goodell. Like they're gonna have all these live streams just like cutting in and out and across the screen, and like everything's just supposed to like work as planned, and like I don't know. It's gonna be a mess. And
the whole fun of it too is like having a big party with all your friends and family. Like, God forbid one of these players is on there with like 40 people at their house. People are going to have a meltdown.
Right. That's a great point. And then they're just going to get ripped and be like, these people aren't social distancing and all that, and then it just turns into even a bigger mess.
Actually, the more we talk about it, the more now I'm getting excited for it because it's actually, now that I think about it, it's like the only thing we have to look
Good
forward
point.
to is watching it crash and burn because it's gonna be a mess.
That's what I said. Like, obviously, I can't wait to see the first team that fucks us up by either like accidentally picking the wrong person or like a technical error has them picking somebody else. I wrote down that like the Giants, I am so excited to see with the Giants how they're gonna fuck this up and like who they're gonna like accidentally draft another quarterback or like I just can't wait to see how they're gonna screw things
or
up.
just like a live stream cuts in or out too early and you have someone just being like shit because they got drafted by like the Patriots or the Browns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Joe Burrow is gonna be on high alert for like things he says if he gets picked by the Bengals on a
It's gonna be wild.
But I can't wait. I'm all juiced up for it.
Yeah, because you're right. Even in the first round, like if you were on Twitter, you know the pick before they ever announce it. So like I just sit there and refresh and just wait to see who they pick. And then if it's someone like interesting, I'll watch it. But you're right, with this, it's gonna be like a must watch of how they're gonna fuck this up. Especially with Goodell's basement. Very curious to see what this basement looks like.
Like, are they just gonna text like Goodell and be like, the Giants are taking like this, dude. Like Redskins take Chase Young, like
someone's gonna get that number and like just start texting
false
him.
information.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm excited now. 10 days. They haven't moved one thing. And they're starting also, I think, like voluntary workouts, but they can't be in person. So like I think they're just doing like the same thing we're all doing, like online workouts.
I saw one video. Really good producer, and like when some prospects like running their 40, he should like speed it up to make him
like just enough to make him look faster, but not too much to where and
then they draft him and he's like, what do you mean you run 5.40?
Yeah, just some like old white guy was watching this footage, no idea
like,
how
that Drew Smith really can get off the line.
Well, there was like that one kid that they reported his numbers. He's like, yeah, he ran like a 4.28 40 reported by his agent. But like, well, obviously his agent's gonna be like, what else? Did he do 150 reps on the bench? Like, what else did he do?
Almost as fast as Britney Spears.
Yeah, what was that story again? Was she serious?
It's like
that was almost so crazy that everyone ignored it.
I saw the headline. I was like, oh, this must just be like a branded sports article where they're just like kind of trashing her like in a witty way. Like, did she actually say that?
Yeah, she posted a screenshot. It's like my favorite story of the year so far of her just timer on her phone. It wasn't like a video of her time doing. It was just a time, and she said she ran like 100 meters in that time, and it was like less than half of Usain Bolt's time. So she like set the world, and she said she'd been doing it for like weeks straight. She just broke the record every single day.
Have you looked at her Instagram? My wife showed me like her Instagram recently. It's literally the saddest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's just her like, she's like, hey guys, I'm out here, like, and then she's like dancing, but she's like,
don't disrespect her dancing. That's the only thing she still has left. Okay.
Allison.
Dancing sucks.
It's bad. It's bad. That's Mr. CEO in the background. She had to stop what she was doing to let you know how bad Britney Spears' Instagram dancing is.
Yeah, it's sad. Her hair still hasn't grown back from 2007 when she shaved it all off. So it's a whole ordeal. I'm worried about her.
It's bad.
There's nothing we can do. She's out there. She's running very fast. So
she's going to be the next Michael Jackson, where she's just going to go so far off the deep end that you just believe anything you hear that's reported about her.
Yeah.
I
can't wait for that too.
I still love her. Always. Free Britney.
All right. R.I.P.
All right. Another edition of Lunchables in the books. Check us out. Sponsored by Design Tree. I'm wearing my branded sports hoodie. You can get yours. I lost the elastic out of mine, but
yeah, these strings tend to come off in the washer and dry.
But I get for washing things I don't normally wash.
You should.
Yeah.
Especially with the vinyl.
The softest hoodies in the world.
Yeah.
That's
like
right.
a hug from an angel.
It really is.
There you go.
And then go grab one of their masks. I mean, you guys are selling how many masks have you guys sold?
We sold, I believe we're almost in the 80,000 mark in the last 3 days. But you can buy them at rushweartees.com. They're just cloth masks. They're good to wear when you go outside. They're not medically approved, which, everyone loves to comment about that, but it's still good just to like do your part and kind of take the right measures so we can get life back to normal as soon as possible.
Oh, my mom's
Allie's mom.
Allie, you got to call your mom.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mom.
Make sure to call Lori.
My mom's name's Lori too. Lori.
A reminder to everyone on listening, please call your mom. Check in on your elders.
Everyone, call your mom. Call anybody named Lori. Just give them a buzz. Let them know that you're thinking about them. All right.
Cool.
All right. Thanks,
Cool.
everybody.
Well, thanks, guys. We'll do this again soon.
Yeah, man.